And welcome back to Game Escape. Today we're going to be taking a look at a fantastic platforming game for the Super Famicom called Ganbare Goemon 2. And in this game you take on the role of a real-life figure from Japanese history called Ishikawa Goemon, who kind of was a Robin Hood-like figure, a noble thief who actually met kind of a grisly end. I believe he was boiled alive. But in this version it's a whimsical, cartoon-like vision of feudal Japan, in which you're battling what I gather to be rabbit-like creatures who are taking over the landscape. It's silly, but it is an incredibly fun and challenging platformer. I think among the best platformers you can play for the Super Famicom or the Super NES. This is right up there with Super Mario World, Donkey Kong Country, Umehara Kawase, all of the great platformers. Now this is a series that has been going on in Japan for quite some time. There are numerous Ganbare Goemon games, but this is one of the few that actually has a real platforming approach. Others tend to be more action RPGs, and they rely on a lot of text, so as a non-Japanese speaker it's hard to pick up and play those versions, but this one is really accessible to anyone with an interest in really challenging platforming games. The objective here is to go around these stages, kill enemies, collect gold and these little cat dolls or creatures, and if you collect these cats, you extend the range of your weapon, which I believe is a pipe. And as you progress through the levels, you'll notice that they are incredibly detailed, very, very colorful, and they have absolutely great soundtracks. The music in this game is really amongst the best soundtracks that I've heard on the SNES or Super Famicom, and that's saying something because that's a system that really had a great tradition of terrific in-game music. You will have crazy boss fights against a rabbit man who perhaps is the head of the syndicate that's trying to take over Japan, and they're really, really challenging. Usually you have a mid-boss, and then you take control of a robot version of your character called Impact. And I believe it's called Impact, and he will, he has sort of punching attacks and then can throw bombs, and the boss battles are in the first-person perspective using the Super Famicom's Mode 7 graphics. Now this is the part of the game, as good as the platforming is, I think these boss battles are incredibly difficult and very cumbersome. You always want to get back to the platforming action, and luckily you're only going to have one of those first-person fights per stage, and then you can get back to what I think is the real fun of the game. Now, like any great platforming game, there is a good bit of frustration to be had here. The first levels in the game are enjoyable, very manageable, but as you move on, things become incredibly difficult. You really have to time your attacks, you have to time your jumps almost perfectly, and I found myself getting killed a lot playing these levels again and again. But as frustrating as it was, that's what a platformer is. It's an experience that you can keep on going back to, try again, and eventually you feel a sense of accomplishment as you make your way through the game. Now, if you have a Super Famicom and you're looking to pick up a game that is just different and quirky but is legitimately great, I would definitely recommend this. It's a little expensive right now on eBay, tending to go from anywhere between $25 and $40. I actually kind of got lucky on this one. It was included in a lot of Super Famicom games that I had purchased a couple of years ago, and as soon as I turned it on, I was just immediately impressed with the quality of this game. I mean, this is really one of the finest platformers that I've played. Is it worth the $25 to $40? If you like these types of games and you're looking for something unique in your collection, absolutely. It has become actually one of my favorite Super Nintendo games of all time, because it really captures what was so great about the system. Terrific visuals, excellent music, and super precise and addicting gameplay. And I almost hope that they release this maybe to the virtual console. I think more people should play this game. It is just a true gem. And the one thing you have to remember, my one pro tip to everyone out there, don't attack the townspeople. Bad things will happen to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again on Game Escape.